couple of weeks in the planning to kind of put this
Yep.
together. And those of you that don't know Damien, I'm excited to do an introduction to Damien. He is a seasoned entrepreneur, a seasoned digital citizen in the world of marketing. He comes to a ton of our events. We've known him for a long time. And he is someone that has a lot of software experience, to say the least. Damien, welcome into this workshop, and we just want to, as a community, say thank you to you for being so generous and willing to just really give away the farm and teach a ton of the entrepreneurs that are here. Damien, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me, Paulson. I'm so happy to be here to, get this thing started. Listen, I'm not gonna sing like Molly sang last week, so if you guys are looking for that, you can go ahead and hop off now. I'm not singing. All right.
We loved Molly. If you loved that workshop, put a one in the comments. And by the way, our community loves these 3-day workshops. I mean, they're a bit long-winded, and we don't mean it to be, but there's so much content that we want to teach, and we bring in top players that are practitioners. And by the way, I'm actually traveling at an event right now, so forgive me if my Wi-Fi goes in and out. We have our community teams in the call that's going to manage the streaming along with me. Damien, what's your story? Who are you? Help us understand how you got here.
Well, listen, I started in this automation space a while ago. I won't say how many years, it was a lot of them. I was teaching sixth grade, and as you know, teachers in the summer they don't get paid. So I needed to do something. And while I was in the Navy, I had this little side hustle doing credit repair. And when I got, I thought that was a perfect idea. So I opened up a brick and mortar shop doing credit repair. It just happened to be in the right location for the clientele that was needed for that. We opened the door, and I took the nurse from the school with me because she was fluent in Spanish, and opened the door, and we did pretty well. What I did know, I've always been a tech guy, so I know the internet's the thing, and I was heard some stuff about some CRMs, and some guys were patching stuff together, and I came across a relatively new CRM at the time, and it was really expensive to get started. I paid over $5,000 to that was the sign-on fee, right? Not considered the monthly. And again, I was a teacher, so this was like all my savings and everything to try to make this thing work. And I spent 3 months, 8 hours, like pretty much that first summer, 8 hours a day in the software, just learning the software. And listen, back then it was super difficult, right? But at the end of the 3 months, I knew about 20%. I was about 20% efficient in the software, what it could do. But that was about 99 more percent or more proficient than everybody else who was using the software. So I was doing pretty good. That company ended up getting acquired, and I took a little time off, did some cool stuff, like went to film school, came back, and got put on a hot seat for my guy. Always give him love, show him love. Ben Atkins helped me get into this internet marketing thing, open up a product on the Warrior Forum. Had a lot of automation in the back end, and people were asking, "Hey, how you doing that?" And I was like, "I'm just using this software." And they asked, "Can you do it for us?" And I'm like, "I guess so." I didn't know what to charge. I didn't know. I was just trying to help people out, trying to make some friends. And some of those guys still, my friends today. But I became known as that guy over there, and here we are. Say like 18 years later. You know.
So, I knew you knew what you were doing when you first came into the family of High Level, and you put together like the LeBron sports kind of this is my decision kind of thing, and did the whole Letterman jacket, and you did a, formal sports interview as if you are, the player that got moved into a new ecosystem. I thought it was brilliant. I knew we're gonna have a long-term relationship. If you haven't watched that and you're in the community, you ought to take a look at it. It's a great launch in how Damien started with our affiliate program. So let's get started without any further ado. Those of you that are watching, First things first, thousands of people go through this workshop, and one of the biggest objectives we have for you is not just come together, engage, say a bunch of fancy comments and not take any action. So this is going to be action packed, and that's what I hope for all of you as marketers in general as you watch this. What I want to challenge you to do is take one or two things and just apply it in a simple format. And honestly, I tell people, hey, just watch one workshop. In a sense, don't watch every single one of them because you will get overloaded. It's years and years of experience that some of these, top profiles and public figures that I bring in to teach from. And if you haven't paid attention, it's something that we put a lot of effort into. We've got a massive team behind it. So take advantage of it. Some of the guys and gals that we bring in, they charge massive amounts of money for the things that they teach, and so does Damien. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you to you for saying yes to us on this, Damien. I know you have your own events and programs, so I urge people to take a look at it. So, without any further ado, Damien, can we set the stage, set the agenda of what people can expect the first 3 days? And as you do that, I want all channels, anywhere you are, go to a HighLevel channel, Instagram, Facebook page, wherever, and tell us what city you're checking in from. And Damien's going to spend some time going through the agenda as you type in what city you are checking in from. It's a great way to interact, connect, and if you look at the Zoom chat, there's a link to the Facebook page. So comment there. That's where our team is kind of housing themselves. So yeah, Damien, let's set the agenda for day 1, 2, and 3.
Sure. Do you want me to share the slides, Paulson,
Yes,
or?
absolutely. And let me just go ahead and make you a co-host. That way you can share. One second. And by the way, we are recording this. We will have replays available to you and some cool bonus things that we're gonna provide to all of you and give you the opportunity to take advantage of towards the end of it.
Here that way. We start at the top.
Yeah,
All
give
right.
us a one in the chat if you are able to see Damien's slides. Let me double check on the streaming real quick, Damien. One second.
Welcome.
All right, we're rocking and rolling. Guys and gals, we would really like engagement in all of our channels. So if you can comment as we go through teaching, it just energizes us as the guests and the host to just keep going because these take quite some time. So we definitely appreciate you commenting as much as you can. It also triggers the channel algorithms to allow more people to come watch some of the content that we're sharing. So yeah, we see your screen, Damien. Let's go ahead and get started.
Cool, cool. So, a few weeks ago, Paulson asked me to hop on this thing. We started talking about kicking around ideas about, what value we could, provide to you guys. And essentially, I host a workshop called the Spark Accelerator, because my thing is, and it still hurts me to this day. I've been in this thing a long time, and Paulson has said, I go to a lot of events. I've met a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people. And one thing that happens when you go to a workshop or one of these events, you get there, you take a whole lot of notes. You get super excited and super hype about the things that you're doing. And then you get home and then, you gotta, go pick up the kids, or you gotta pick up the groceries, or you gotta get back into your business and do 10,000 other things other than implementing the things that you learn at the event. So, where the Spark Accelerator comes from, it's like it's really a workshop to help you implement all the things you learn, and when you leave, everything's done. So I'm going to take the same approach with this workshop. Everything that we're going to talk about, you're going to do so that when you leave, you'll have that thing done, right? I've seen guys, 2, 3 years later, hey man, I heard you doing that thing, last year you told me you were really excited about. Yeah, man, I didn't really get a chance to get around to it. Well, this over the course of the next 3 days, we're gonna get in some things. We're gonna give you all the things to make these things happen. So, the automated outreach workshop. So this is all about reaching out to people in an automated format. Let's go to the next slide. Let's see. There we go. So a little about me real quick. We got some pictures up there. I'm a grandpa. I love to travel, hang out with family. Crafting is one of my biggest passions. I have a maker's lab full of stuff. We can pretty much manufacture anything, 3D printers, laser cutters, all that stuff. So that's what we do for fun. And I send about 80 million emails a month. And I'm pretty good at this marketing thing. So
Wait, how much did you say?
about 80 million emails a month. So that's
The sliding that in there somehow.
I mean, put it on the bottom so people would know. It's like, and why you should listen to me, kind of thing, right? I kind of
Love it.
have been for a while, and we send a lot of emails. We're getting into this cold email thing, and that's gonna probably triple over the next 3 months. So, day one, we'll just go through it real quick. We're going to talk about the optimal targeting matrix. This is important. It's one of those cool internet marketing name kind of things, but really what it means, you got to know who you're marketing to. So we're going to help you talk. We're going to talk about avatar stuff. Now, a lot of this may seem really fundamental, but I'll ask, and some of the people who came to the last event, this Spark Accelerator, they made tons of money, right? Doing the things that they do, but they don't have the fundamentals in place, like the simple things that you need to have in order to grow your business or scale your business. Everybody forgets about step one. Everybody wants to do step 6, and it's cool with all of the fancy workflows and automation pieces. Everybody always wants to do that, but in order to get to there, you got to do the fundamental stuff, right? Like when somebody opts in, there's something that you should be doing, right? Like sending an email back. So we're going to walk through creating avatar. Then we're going to walk through what we call the welcome series. We believe there's 5 fundamental workflows that every small business should have. We're going to give you 3 of them or a variation of those 3. We do all 5 at the Spark Accelerator.
So, Damien, as you get started into setting the agenda for day 2, I want you to add a quick note in there if you can. So there's a great crowd of visionaries in here and a great crowd of integrators, 2 different types of
Yes.
personalities in the world of business. And I am more of a visionary. Um, yeah, but some of you may be watching this and you're wondering, okay, how much is this going to be strategy and on the visionary side versus how much of this is going to be a bit more technical, a bit more systematic on the integrator side? Can you give us an outlook on that as you kind of set the agenda? I think that'll be a great way to kind of position this.
Sure. For you visionary types, this is going to be a little painful, right? Because we're going to get into actually building these things out. Like, so I'm a little bit of both, which I think is a gift of mine because I love technology, but I also like the big picture stuff. I'm just able to do the technical stuff. But the way I break it down, and again, if you stay to the end, I think Paulson, that's what everybody will get. The snapshots of everything. So
Yeah.
I'm going to walk you through it step by step so you know where the pieces are so that you can have the conversation with the people who are going to do this for you. I'm not saying, trust me, the visionaries, you shouldn't be in the mix doing these things. You should go find somebody who can help you do this thing faster. But I am going to show you so you can have the conversation. Our clients come to us. For example, we had a client last week who we were onboarding them and we needed something simple. Hey, where is your website hosted? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know where? This is like the primary means of how people come into your business. You don't know where that is. But just so you can have the conversation with the people who are going to be doing these things for you, you'll know what a workflow is. Where to build an email template at. And you can always refer back to these videos. So before the integrators, you're going to love this because, we're going to get into where things are inside of the software and walk you through building these things out and show you some cool stuff on the automation side.
All right, so let's go through day 2 agenda. I didn't mean to interrupt you on your track there, but I just thought it was an important note to add.
For sure. For sure. Appreciate that. Now, so on day two, we're going to talk about the automated revenue roadmap. These are the things that you can put in place that will give you money over and over again without you having to go in and change things daily, weekly, monthly, all that stuff. Once you set this up, it should be pretty much straight. Now, the reason we talk about segmentation a lot, because segmentation is the bee's knees, if you will, of automation. You have to segment your people, your list. You have to, I'm going to say it again. I might say it 15 times or 30 times during this thing. You have to segment your list. Now, look, this can be as simple as, hey, this is a male and this is a female. Cool. That's segmentation. So now when you talk to those people with your automation, you won't send, you know, things related to one or two people and not send it to the people that it does relate to. Like, it's simple, right? Maybe I like blue cars and not red cars. So if you send me an email or a text message about red cars, I'm probably going to say, you know what? I don't want to hear this marketing message. So I'm going to just opt out. Or, you know, as people love to do, hit the spam button, even though it's not spam. They love doing that stuff. But just segmenting, that way we're going to give you a lot of segmentation. I'm going to start off slow, and then I'm going to put you guys into the mix on how to get your people segmented. So this is so important. Like, if you take anything from these 3 days, this is the one that you're going to you want to walk away with.
Love
And
it.
then
And then day three.
and day three, this is super cool. We're gonna build out a membership site on HighLevel, and give you all of the automation in between. Like, when a person purchases, they're gonna get access to your videos and your content, and do some other cool stuff too. So that's what we're gonna do on day three. All right.
All right. Awesome.
Cool. All right, so let's hop into this thing. We're gonna
And
talk
as
about.
you go
Oh,
ahead,
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I know I was gonna say, if you are a visionary, comment visionary in the comments, and if you're an integrator, comment integrator in the comments. And as we kind of go through this workshop, I'll be able to kind of identify who you are in a sense. And by the way, if you're watching this on any of our channels and you don't even have HighLevel just yet, we're gonna have a special offering for you if you stay through the end of this. And what it's going to be is what we call a snapshot. Snapshots are basically automation templates that you can clone, copy, distribute across the world of HighLevel into different types of accounts. Or, you can buy them, you can build them, you can get it for free, all kinds of things. And we're going to have everything we talk about in this workshop built into a snapshot for you. And that's from Damian himself and his team. So if you're watching this for any means, for any reason, and you don't have a HighLevel just yet, I really want to invite you to our family of marketers. And the only thing I'm going to say is you're missing out. But let's get started with day one.
You are missing out. All right, so let's talk a little bit about who you're marketing to first, because I guess I can ask the question. I can't see the comments, so I normally ask this question. I'll go around the room and I'll say, "Hey, tell me who your customer is." And really, generally, the number one answer is everybody. I sell my thing to everybody. It's like, well, uh, that's not true. Not everybody is your client. Maybe there's a a niche or two that fits with, but for a majority of you, um, not everyone's your client. So this is kind of where you start the process. And with starting this process, you want to know who you're going to market to. We call it pretty much an avatar, right? A lot of you have probably heard this already, and you may have a sense of who that is. But if you don't, it's okay too. When I talk about fundamentals, this is one of those fundamental pieces that no one has. People always, they'll come back around to it. Maybe they've had such success, 1, 2 years, they're running, they're selling things, and they think they're great. But once they dig into who their customer actually is, this is when things really start to open up. So I wanted to cover this before we get into what we're building today. Share this screen. All right, and go over this real quick. If you have this done, you know what? That's great. Maybe you can help the other people in the chat, right? If you don't have it done, this is going to be perfect for you. So the best way I can put it is the only way to learn how to laser target your audience is to get clear about who it is you're targeting, right? And the way that
Damien,
we do that.
excuse me, I'm so sorry. Can you maximize the view?
Bigger,
Maybe go to like, yeah, that looks good right there. Thank you.
right there, or bigger.
No, go up one more.
Got it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool, cool. I gotta move this thing real quick so I can see this. That's perfect. So pretty much knowing your audience, that's the most important piece. So what we're gonna do is walk through some of the things that I use to create an avatar for a product or do this for clients. Now, again, this may seem simple, but this is part of the fundamentals that you have to have in place in order to do and to move on to the next step. So um, here's what the benefits are. We'll just go through that. I don't, won't read them all, but I'll go through some of these. You'll get rid of the freebie seekers, right? This is great because those people take up space on your list. Fortunately for you, HighLevel doesn't charge for the number of contacts that you have on your list, but being in previous situations, every contact costs you money. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't have people clogging up our database that we were paying for every month that wasn't they weren't replying to our marketing messages. Once you define your avatar, you'll save money on marketing because it's easier to target the people that you know who want to buy or support you than the people that don't. Your messages will be super focused, right? This is when we get into the segmentation. This is super important because your messaging, you only focus on people who want to be there and not people who don't want to be there. You'll save time, and you can personalize better, which are the best part. I told you we were talking about segmentation a lot. Like you're gonna keep hearing me say this thing, and it's going to stick. Hopefully, when you leave this event. So, defining your avatar. This is what I want you guys to do right now. Like we said, this is a workshop where you're going to be. You can type it on a computer. You can write it on a piece of paper. I don't care where you do that, but you do this process because it'll be good for you going into the next piece. So these are some questions that you want to ask around, creating your avatar, right? First of all, give the person a name. I don't know where that comes from, but it makes it more personal. So, you can say Jake or Jim or, Paulson, even, make Paulson your avatar today. But basically here, what you want to do is get some basic background information, right? Now, one thing we're not really going to, we're going to touch on it a little bit. We know that AI is the new thing, the super cool thing that, new technology that everybody likes and tries to use, but sometimes doesn't do it well. We're getting back to the basics. We're going to start here. And we're not going to talk about a bunch of AI, even though there's some processes that you can do to make this faster. But we're going to do it by hand first. You guys okay with that? I can't see the chat.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Damien, if you want to pull up maybe the Facebook page, the external HighLevel Facebook page, you can see the comments there. Just real quick, how many of you have an avatar already set and built? Maybe you've started your step in building your business, or you've started the journey of entrepreneurship as a marketer. How many of you already have an avatar? Or maybe you have one or two, or you have an idea. Give me a one in the chat if you have an avatar that you're focused on. And notice that we didn't say a certain industry. We're talking about a person, not an industry. We're not asking if you niche down, but we want to talk about a certain person that you are focused on. Because even within an industry, there are multiple avatars. Damien, if you want, how did you come up with these questions? Why are these important? And what do we do with these answers? How do they apply?
Sure. So, where I came up with these is just a lot of learning. Like, I'm a student of this game. I'm learning every day, and these are essentially out of all the things that I've seen over the past 18 years. Like, this is the constant stuff that keeps coming up in order to generate. Everybody has their own methods and ways to generate. I mean, from spreadsheets to everything else in between from these documents. But these are some of the questions that'll get you um, a good baseline as to who this avatar is. Now, give them a name. You want to know their age. 18 to 38 doesn't really work, or eight, because those are different people, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that their age, or what you think is the age. You put that in there. Now, let me give a caveat to this, right? This is not going to be perfect the first time you do it, right? It's not going to be correct. So for all of the perfectionists out there, we love you, right? But you're not going to get this perfect the first time around. How you are going to get it perfect, you're going to test who you think your avatar is by running ads, organic traffic, or that kind of thing, and then you'll define this over time, right? So you're not going to get it right, but it's good to start somewhere, right? So are they married? Do they have children? Where do they live? Where do they go to college? Household income. That's super important. Disposable income. What you think they have? Hair color, eye color, weight, height. I think somebody just asked about small business. If you sell to small businesses, what is the industry that they're in, right?
Yeah.
That's a good demographic or basic background information for them. Who is their audience? What's their revenue? How long have they been in business? So that's how you adjust the information to fit for a small business. That's perfect time. Now, after you answered all of these questions, I want you guys to write down, define a typical day for your ideal customer. What does it look like for them as they go throughout their day, right? What brands do they like? What websites do they like? What sources? Where do they get their information from? Their news? Is it Facebook? Are they on Instagram? You want to write that stuff down too. How did they get the industry news? What are their goals? Business, personal, family. This gets you closer to actually defining who the person you're going to be targeting is, and it lets you define the messages a little bit better. The messages that we're going to give you, because we're going to give you all this in emails. You guys are going to love it when you see it.
Yeah, but by the way, our team put together a Google Drive specifically customer facing for this workshop. So anything we share, any of these assets will be given to you. So at a later time you can go through it. And we'll share those public links with you. So don't sweat if you are trying to screenshot, every single question as Damien scrolls or anything. We'll give it to you. No worries.
Yeah, you're going to get this. All right. Make sure you guys have it. Take a screenshot of this. And so do me a favor, just in the chat while you guys are looking at this, because I know you guys are writing it down quickly and trying to get all the stuff done. Just put the name of your avatar, put their name in the chat. Just put that in there.
Yeah.
We're going to keep scrolling down. These are some of the questions that you should be asking. List 3 problems that you can solve with your product and service that will help this person. Okay. This is super specific when generating copy, because a lot of your copy is going to come around this question. So some of the problems that I saw for the Spark Accelerator is one, we help people get the work done, right? We help people leave with an asset, right? So a lot of times people are like, hey, we don't have a thing for people to give away from people. We solve that problem. And the biggest problem we solve is we make tech easy, right? When people think about technology and hopping into different softwares and trying to learn all of the information, it's like, or do all the information, it's like, man, that I can't, that's daunting. I can't do that, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. So what we solve for them is we make it easy. We walk you through it step by step and don't leave anything out. All right. So those are the three problems that we solve. And think about, your business as well. What problems you solve. Now you're going to go into a little bit deeper after you get through that initial information. The next thing you're going to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen to your ideal customer if they don't solve their problem? We're framing your copy as we go through this exercise, right? It's going to be easy for you to go and create a sales page or create an opt-in form because what what you're going to hit when you get to those specific points on your landing pages, right? It's like, hey, what problem are you solving? So like something like, man, people have a problem with time, right? So we help them put more time back into their day through automating different parts of their day, right? How do they feel about not solving a problem, right? I mean, I know the feeling for me when I can't, you know, figure something out. If I have a flat tire and I can't find the jack to my truck to get the flat tire off, it's a big problem, right? Now, what happens? I can't drive to the next one. I have a flat tire in my truck right now that I got to get fixed by AAA. So some of the things that they can't solve, like, man, that's how I feel. I feel bad because I can't drive my truck. Right? I'll drive my other car. So will they lose friends, family? Will they judge them? Will they lose their job? Will they face others? This helps you answer that question a little more. And what's the worst case scenarios that could happen if the problem isn't solved? Are they gonna, like I said, will they lose friends? Will their family judge them? Will they lose their job? How will they feel? Here you can go really deep. Take your time on this part. Go really, really deep into this question. These other lines help you kind of with that. Go deeper into those worst case scenarios. Now start to think about, because we talked about the bad stuff, we got to talk about the good stuff. So what happens when your customer, if they do solve their problem? What does it look like for them? Well, got my tire fixed. I can drive my truck, go hang out. I can, go camping this weekend before I couldn't go camping because I had a flat tire in the truck, right? Stuff like that. What if it was perfect? What if it was simple, right? I use this simple thing because we overcomplicate everything. Right? From tying your shoe to, buying a car, we overcomplicate the whole problem. I wear Crocs, by the way, so I don't have to tie my shoes. I've made it really simple. That's my system for not tying my shoes. What if the problem or solution to their problem, it was simple, right? What if they were willing to pay almost anything to see that come true? And what can you do to ensure that your product or service lives up to your promises, right? Use this inside of, or think about those questions as you answer those. You'll have this. It's going to make the next step pretty easy. Now,
So,
go ahead, Paulson.
so what we're doing here, guys and gals, is setting the stage for the entire workshop. Okay, so the idea here is to help you identify and kind of put together a foundation for a customer avatar. Because what Damien's going to really ultimately teach you on these 3-day workshop is to how to leverage automations as a thing, as a service, as a product. Go out to the market and simplify your fulfillment and build a business as if you are a service provider, like a marketer, right? So before we go to the world of, okay, how do we make money and monetize this whole thing? We need to understand the supply chain demand of what we're building and having the product built out. But the first thing you got to do is understand who the product is for, essentially. And we're gonna back all these things up with automations pretty soon here. But I just wanted to set the stage because I see a few more people that jumped in across the channels. Just wanted to just kind of set the stage one more time. But keep going, Damien.
Perfect. All right. Now, describe what your customer needs to fix it all. You'll do that here. Write a story about it. I love telling stories. That's the best way. And then From there, we hop into some call to action stuff. But that is, creating an avatar. Essentially, that's what you're going to do. Again, you guys are going to get this document at the end of the event. So you'll be able to define it yourself, and you're going to make it a little bit easier. Now, I'm going to run through this real quick so you guys can run through it slow for you new people that came in. Let's scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. All right, now everybody should have that done, and we're ready to move on to the next step. Is that right?
Ideally.
All right, everybody has it done. Now, we're going to hop into HighLevel next, because this is one of the biggest things that you can do before hopping into the software. I think, in my opinion, you shouldn't hop in until you get this part done, because all the other stuff, if it's not based on a solid foundation, you guys know the saying about house is built on sand. So that's essentially what happens. You're like, well, why are people opening my emails? Why aren't people responding to my offers? Probably because of the wrong people, and you didn't do this exercise before putting out that offer. It's kind of like in business, we want to get quick to the dollars. Do things, they don't have to be perfect, but they have to be. So a lot of times we won't write a business plan for something. I mean, technology is what it is, but those businesses that sustain over the course of time, they have a solid plan in place. This is your plan for who you're marketing to. This is like that business plan that you would need for your business. So I encourage all of you to, go back, even if you've done this already, or revisit it and put some more things in there. Define your avatar even more. That way you have it down to a science. Now, what happens? You get out there, you start marketing to your avatar, and you're like, oh, I got it done. Everything's in place. I'm cool. I'm ready. Give me all the money. You put your advertisements out there, and they're like, yeah, cool. We want that thing. And you're like, great, buy it. And then they buy it. And then you're like, cool. All right. See you later. They bought that thing. Well, one of the biggest, and this is, we're going to hop into the software now. The easiest way for you to make $1 is to get the dollar from the person who's already given you $1 before, right? It's easier to get people who sold, or that you sold before, to give you more money than to get new people in the door. So it's important when they first come in the house, right, that you welcome them. So we're going to hop into the welcome series and what this should look like. Now, we go a little bit extreme when it comes to the welcome. We want to make you feel like family. You're either going to love us, or we're going to be that cousin that you hate, but you keep around, right? So that's what we're going to do when we hop into this welcome series. So this is HighLevel for those, if you haven't seen it. Let me hop to the.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Damien, before we go into workflows, can you give us a quick 3, 4 minute demo of HighLevel? I see a lot of people in here that are watching and they're not part of the family just yet. Can you give us a rundown of how you look at HighLevel? Maybe just go through some of these tabs that are important to you, a
Sure.
couple of minutes. Yeah.
Sure. So, listen, this software, let me tell you, the first thing I do when I log in every day, I come up here to this little notification bell, because this software has updates every single day, right? Something that's new, or something that they fixed of a feature that, oh yeah, thumbs up, feature that they've had before. I start here every single time in this little thing right here, right? So there's some stuff that happened yesterday that I got to dig into.
And just
That
for
was
context, what Damien's talking about is update from HighLevel. So HighLevel, as your parent company or development arm, we roll out features every single day, is what Damien's saying. So you look at
every
that
day.
first before you do anything.
Yep. And then if there's something cool here, I'll come over to settings, I'll scroll down to labs, and I'll turn that thing, this my SAP page I don't have on, different owners. This is bring over yourselves, guys.
What are labs? What is labs?
So essentially, labs are stuff that's not released in the production environment of HighLevel, but you can turn it on to see to have the beta featured before they release it. Now, some of this stuff is live already, so this is live, but you had access to it before it went actually live in the software, so you can use it like it was live. My pro like this is live in 17 days, right? So they're still working out some of the bugs in here, bug fixes, but you can still test it out and get used to what it is before you hop into it.
And how does something like that benefit us as marketers? Like, I mean, is it, you know, if I'm not a techie as a visionary, like I'm a visionary, so how does that help? How do you look at this?
I look at it as like something like this, right? Payment element and forms. Like I want to create something quick, right? So I can send out to somebody. Maybe I have a form already created, but I need to send out a place where they can go make a purchase fast, right? Payment elements and form will allow you to do that, right? Just put it right in the form. Simple, easy. Hey, go to this page. Well, they'll give you a link for the form. Go to the page, fill that out. Easy peasy. This is actually live in a day, so but I'll turn it out anyway. And
Yeah.
time zone update for calendar appointments. Yes, for sure. This should be on because when you check your calendars, it'll be in your default user time zone, right? So you'll know the appointment is in wherever you're at. Because I've had, Trevor Pulse and I, have hey man, is it at 12 o'clock or 10 o'clock, 11? You'll know exactly where the appointment is. So I come into labs just to turn on, maybe there's some cool features that I want to test out. If it's off for a little bit, if it's not working for me, I can come back and turn it off. I can provide, submit feedback to the team like, hey, this piece wasn't working. This is where I had the problem, which only makes the software better, right?
Yeah. So you
So
as a SaaS provider, you can decide what kind of beta you want to have and what's relevant to your so high level just doesn't roll out a bunch of features on you and you don't know what it is essentially. So you can
right.
kind of take time and learn and then adopt as you want or implement for your customers is what it seems like.
Yeah, but hop into the latest updates first because there's always something there, like every single day.
Love
And
it.
to see see all the changes that are made, just hop, you can click this link and then it'll open up and you can see every single change that they've made. That's all time, right? I mean, there's
I
tons of
believe so. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just if you check here, if you miss a week, uh, clicking here will help you um, see
Catch
what
up. Yeah.
last week catch up. So do that.
And this is in the marketer view or is it in the sub account view?
I am in the sub account right now.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Very cool. So what are we
Yep.
looking at here? Launchpad.
So this is where basically this is like a starter for you guys or for your clients when you first hop in here. This gives you all the links to stuff that you should do getting your new account set up, from downloading the app so you have it on your phone, all the way to connecting your Stripe account so you can accept payments, and add new members. So a lot of the times, this kind of stuff is hidden in software. Like quickly add one or more team members. Like you got to find out what I got to do users, and then how do I add it? It's right on the launchpad. So if you're for you visionaries, if you want somebody to help you in the software, this is a quick way to add them in there to give them access, so they can go in and do what they need to do. Then you get to the dashboard. Cool thing about this dashboard, this is a new account for this. That's why it's all clean. Um, Everything on this dashboard is customizable, right? You can have data, all sorts of add widgets for all sorts of data, whatever you need. You can have your Google Ads data in here. Everything you need to do, this could be, you can put it on a dashboard. So this is a good place for, your COOs or people who are running your organization to quickly get information about what's happening in the company, marketing wise or automation wise, sales wise. They can come here and they can get all that information right here on the dashboard. It's really easy to integrate data inside of here that kind of walks you through the process. But that's what you can do on the dashboard.
Awesome. And then conversations is, I guess, like it's basically a CRM system where a single profile contact is in one place. You can see the thread of conversations and activities. Yep.
Yep. Everything that happens on a contact, all of the messaging that happens for a contact, you're going to see inside of here. So if you send an email to something, let's say I send an email to Paulson, Paulson's information will be here. You can click on it to get to the contact record. You'll have a record of, the emails you sent, the text message you sent. The text messages will actually be in here. You'll get all that information right inside the conversations tab. So you don't have to go into a contact, kind of see what's happening there. You can go into a contact to dive deeper, but everything will be here in the conversation tab, like for the messaging that's gone back and forth.
Do you have another sandbox account that you can show potentially?
Yeah, let me see what I have in here. Wait, no, let me see if there's something in here.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is kind of what it would look like, right? So you would have all the inbound calls, text messages, that kind of stuff would all be inside of here.
Yeah.
Let's hop over. Let's back into this one. Yeah. Calendars. This is where you go to create all of your calendars. Your we don't want calendar settings. Move this over. Look, there's something else up here in the calendar update. You customize your calendar widget, add a one-time link. This is super cool. To be able to create a link to send to somebody like one time to for that person just to schedule an appointment, right? Something easy and quick. Calendar settings is where you're able to have the different types of calendars. It's super cool for you service-based people. I own a landscaping company, so they just added this service calendar not too long ago, maybe 3, 4, maybe like a month or month and a half ago. The service calendars in there, which is super cool. For us, where we have we have to go out and service clients, hairstylists and nail, all of the service-based companies. This calendar is super cool. Simple calendar, round robin for people who have sales teams. This is super awesome. As people come in, it assigns them to a different person and puts them on the calendar. Like for years, I've used OneHub and Schedule Once, and it was super expensive to use it. But this takes care of that tenfold. I mean, assigning. We built a whole sales system just in one for a sales team in one sub account, and this thing has been game changing for them. Class bookings, those of you who do services, like maybe you have a class that you're doing.
Studios, yoga.
Studio. Yep. That works well there. And the collective booking, if you want to have meetings with multiple people, like they all need to be on the same call, you'll use this one to create that one.
Perfect.
That's perfect. So that's calendars. So this is really like an all-in-one tool. Like you don't have to have multiple software pieces. Everything is just in one. Before, I think, coming over to HighLevel, my tech stack was something like 32 tools. A tech stack is all the software that you use in your business. It was somewhere around 32 just to make the thing run. This quickly removed a ton of those. So opportunities, this is for you guys who like sales pipelines or you're tracking your sales process. You can put it in stages and you can automate off of those stages, which is super cool.
Yeah.
This is like
And
like a
and we're gonna get into some of these as we kind of build out the
yep,
workflows, right? So
absolutely.
we're just doing a
Yeah, just quick walk.
preliminary, yeah, quick walkthrough. Thank you.
Yep, walking you guys through. Um, payments. Now this thing has grown exponentially over the last. Like this is crazy, right?
It's
This is crazy.
insane.
Okay.
What's coming is even more insane, but I don't want to talk about that.
Also leaving those open loose. All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
So, right here, this document and contracts was is a game changer, right? So for those of you who have contracts like with DocuSign or
PandaDoc, yeah.
Panda or Adobe Sign and that kind of stuff, that is now inside of HighLevel. So you can create all your service contracts inside of HighLevel. You can um, automate sending them out to people along your process. That's in HighLevel. Um, and the new feature that was what a couple weeks ago. Now you just upload PDF. You just upload the document. Like that is crazy. It's nuts.
Can
So
you
upload.
explain what you mean for those that don't know anything about HighLevel?
Sure. So before you would come in here, you would type all the stuff out. I think I have to get rid of my Oh no, let me do it. So you
Yeah.
would type, this is my contract. Then you would say, okay, I need a signature here. Maybe I need, or like this is a name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, wait. Are you
oh,
saying now you can just upload a PDF and it'll turn it
yes,
into a proposal and a template
yes.
automatically?
You don't have to do any of that anymore.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's new.
So
That's
you just
new.
save this, right? So you don't have to go through this whole process. Let's say you have a PDF. Try to find one real quick. It probably won't be what it needs to be, but so upload a PDF. Let me select this. Let me go to downloads. Let me see. Oh, that is the actual proposal that I set out last week. Let's try to find something else. Um, oh man, I got a whole bunch of stuff
It's
on here.
okay. Let's not go down the
Hey,
path. Let's stop. So, there's a ton of features around finances. Fintech is one of the areas that we pay attention to with respect to marketers at the end of the day. So the way you function is the way we would probably build. So,
yeah.
so contracts, signature stuff, proposals, invoices, then subscriptions, obviously on the SaaS plan. So that's all built in. And then you can also bring your own processors too, right?
Yes, you can bring your own
Okay.
processors. So getting into going to the settings and integrations. You have NMI, Authorize.net, Stripe, PayPal. You bring
Many
all
more to
those
come.
processors here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
All of them.
coupons. You can do coupons too. All right, so let's get back to agenda. So you have marketing,
Yes.
which is email builders, templates around that. We have a social planner, which is similar to the social sprouts and the Hootsuite that replace
Yes.
that. Then you have automations, very similar to the Active campaign kind of world of workflows. And if you know that whole automation trees, you have sites, which is obviously WordPress type of sites, and then
Funnels.
funnels, single
Blog.
pages, yeah, surveys, forms. You have client portals. Like if you want to build client portals for your clients to log in through. And memberships, obviously, it's like course creators that want to build digital products. There's certifications in there. There's also communities. So communities is like something that competes and replaces like a school or like that type of a ecosystem, or even Facebook groups where you can create subscriptions off of it. Um, then you have reputation management, which is obviously reviews, engagement, commenting, stuff like that, reporting, which replaces stuff like Hyros and Google Analytics. And then obviously you have an app marketplace, which is our integrators development arm. That there's hundreds and hundreds of apps that are coming your way. Stay tuned. There's some cool things happening there.
We'll
I
see.
just sorry, Damien. I just sped up your walkthrough.
Oh, for
If you
sure, for
didn't
sure.
mind, if you didn't
For
mind.
sure. I
So
don't know.
let's get to day one, right? We have to Set the stage on the automations front. Help us. Now we have the client avatar, customer avatar that we kind of built out. Where do
Mm-hmm.
we go from here? What's the next step?
Perfect. Now you have your, you put up you're selling your item now to that specific person, right? So when we talk about automated outreach, we want to make sure that when somebody comes into the house, like I said, somebody comes in, we want to welcome them in through automation. So we do that through this welcome series, right?
Okay.
So this is the workflow. So this is where all the automation happens.
Do you
Okay.
mind
Yeah, let me make it.
zooming at the bottom left corner? Yeah, go to like maybe that's too big. So maybe go to like one. That looks good. Yeah. One more up.
One more.
Go up one. Yeah, that looks good right there. Perfect.
Got it. Let me give you a quick run through, and then we'll hop into what some of this messaging looks like. Okay.
Awesome.
So basically, the person can come in via a tag or a form. Okay. They can fill out a form on your site, or you can tag them manually to put them in here. We have a if then statement, like a logic. We want to put them through. And this is super important at the beginning of a workflow, because if somebody comes in and they've already seen this messaging, you don't want them to see this messaging again. Okay. Um, this is kind of where automation goes awry a lot of the times. People keep sending the same messages over and over again because they don't have any filters in place to not keep people out of those types of welcome sequences. So we want to deliver, let's say, a lead magnet. In this case, this could be whatever the thing that you promised, right? Maybe it was a purchase, they purchased something for you, or you're giving them something for free. You want to deliver it here in this first email. And we're going to get into these emails and what they look like. So you guys don't have to worry about that. All right. And then we're going to wait a day. Then we're going to give them a tour around the house. I use the house as a metaphor, but you want to give them a tour around your world and kind of what you're about. Then a deeper introduction about your world. You want to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that you've made. Then you want to send another email about. We'll get into the copy in that one. And then we talk about, kind of, this is what changed for me. This was my epiphany. This is what caused me to move forward. Now we're going to address some doubts. And then where are we going to get those doubts from? We talked about it earlier. Some of the stuff that we talked about when we were creating that avatar, this is what you're going to put into this email. Winning habits, new challenges, predicting the future. And then we add a tag letting us know this is about segmentation. So it's letting us know that this person has already went through this and it's done. Okay. So let me show you what this looks like.
Yeah. Just so I understand, Damien, this is post-purchase.
Post-purchase, opt-in.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
first thing they're going to receive once they come into your universe.
In your world, yeah. So if it's a lead magnet or opt-in or even a purchase, it doesn't matter. This is how you welcome them to your universe, essentially.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
So
Okay.
let's hop into how people get into a campaign. I had this question from a client this morning, wanting to know, hey, I just want to send people an email when they come into a workflow. Well, that's not how this is structured. Okay, so you have triggers, and then you have actions, right? So a trigger puts them is a thing that causes them to move, and the action is the thing that you want to have happen. So in this case, the trigger, this is if you want to put somebody in here manually, or you can add a tag to a form and that kind of thing. But if you want to put them in here manually, I do it by adding it. There's a ton of ways you can get people in here. I'm showing you how I do it after doing this for the past, 18 years. So I'll create a tag and say the welcome, because that's the name of my workflow. And I'll say add them to the workflow. It's naming conventions, right? You'll have once you start doing this for a while, you'll have your naming convention. Maybe you'll start with 01-A whatever. But for me, for simplicity's sake, like I said, we want to make this thing simple and easy for you to use to get started. So the name of the workflow, and then the thing that's happening, right? So add to workflow. So I can add them in. I can apply that tag to a contact or a group of contacts manually, or they can. It could be a form that is submitted, right? So I will say the form is the welcome. So now, anytime somebody fills in this form, they'll be put into this this workflow. Okay. Let me show you guys some other triggers while we're here. Some stuff around the contact, birthday reminders, no changes when somebody completes a tag, different events like call status, surveys submitted, TikTok form, Facebook lead ad form submitted. You can automate off of that. Appointment status, opportunity changes, when affiliates created, all these are triggers, right? Somebody purchases something, those can all start this workflow. Now,
Got it.
we save this.
So trigger is basically like a launcher of actions. Like it
Yeah,
creates an event essentially.
correct. All
And there's
right,
hundreds of triggers.
correct.
Got it.
Now, once that trigger happens, you say, okay, what do we want to happen next, right? So in this case, and I put the condition in front of, or pretty much throughout all the workflows, because I don't want people going through the same thing twice, and it's different than the settings where it asks you to allow reentry is not the same thing. So I put this condition here that says it's just an if-then statement, right? So we talked about this tag before. They have this tag, right? Add to workflow. So if somebody comes in and has this tag, add to workflow, which means they've been through here already manually, or they've already completed it. This is the tag we have at the end, and I'll show you that in a second. They've already completed it. The welcome series complete. What I want to happen is say, hey, they've been through this thing already, so take them out of here. Remove them from the workflow, right? If they don't have either of those tags or both of those tags, because they'll have both of them, put them through this tree, if you will, or this branch. Okay. Now this branch is the first email. The first thing we want to do after the software has told us, hey, this person has been or has not been through this thing already. We want to go ahead and get to sending them what they have opted in for. Now, this all happens in seconds, right? Or less than a second. The software processes that information. So don't think because you have all this stuff here, it's going to take a long time for this to happen. This happens relatively quickly, right? So the action we have here is send an email. So let me show you guys what those actions look like. So these are some of the actions that can happen. Actions are different than triggers. You're going to see the actions aren't the same when you click a trigger. So if you click a trigger, you're like, hey, where's this email? Or how come I can't send an email? It's because it's in the wrong place. It's an action. So look in the action. These are all the things that you can do after somebody comes in. Add notes, send emails, SMS. This one gets me all the time because when I come up here, because you can search for these actions, I'll type text message. I'm like, where's the text at? Well, it's actually SMS for you to send an SMS. So you can have a shortcut here if you know what the thing is. I usually don't, and I have to scroll. But these are kind of the stuff you want to call them. You want to send a voicemail, an Instagram DM, a webhook, which is super cool for you geeky types. These are your internal tools, like your branches. These are all the stuff you can do inside of here. They even have ChatGPT in here. So these are all of the actions you can take after somebody opts in. But we're going to keep it simple, and we are just going to send an email. Now, when you come into here, this action will be blank. So actually, let me do that so you guys can see it. This is what it'll look like when you first select the action. Action name. Notice in my action name, I put actually what the email is. So make sure you guys do that. So if you're looking at this from the 10,000 foot view or the workflow view, you know exactly what that is. From name, you can put your name there. you type in a name, or you can use a custom value, which is stored in the database, information stored in the database. So like your user first name, the person who's logged in, or the person who this is assigned to. That's who the from name would be. You can do first name, email, type in the email address, subject line, and templates, which we're going to talk about in a second. You can type your message in here. Hey, this is a cool email. And then save the action, right? It won't let you save unless you have this other information in here. But this is what it will look like. Now, what I do before I get into a workflow, I kind of plan it out, right? I'll say, these are the emails that I want in the workflow, right? Before I hop in, because if I hop in, here without a plan, then I'm just, running around willy-nilly, not getting it done, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to have a plan before I get in here, and it actually makes this easier. So if I have a list of all the emails that I want to send, like in a text or a Word document, which you guys will get because we have all of these emails for you in a Word document.
Because Damian's awesome. And
make sure you guys have all of these. I can just pull it in from a template. So let's hop out of here for a second. And we're going to go back to marketing. We're going to go to emails and templates. Okay. So this is where I would come in and I put all of my emails before I even got started. Okay. I would create a new email. I can do a blank email. I can import it. I can create it from an existing campaign or from other email marketing templates that may be in the database. So I'll come in here, say I click new, and I'll create my email. Now, if you can use Microsoft Word, you can build an email inside of HighLevel. Okay. It's just a drag and drop. Hey, I want text here. I want an image here. You just drag it over and place it, right? Drag over text and start typing, right? Just like Microsoft Word. So I'll come into here and let's go through some of the components and this email. And then feel free about, copy this email. Again, you guys are going to get these, but if you want to go through the practice right now of creating these, because this is a workshop and we're building some things, right? Go ahead and create an email. So you'll see on this first line, it says hi, and then it has this funny text right here that says contact first name, right? You want the software to pull the person's name because you want to personalize these emails, right? If you get an email, and I know some of this is a little basic for some of you guys who are super deep in the software. I understand that. But the first time you got an email, or you probably got an email for somebody that had your name in it, had some information, you're like, whoa, like how did that happen? Or how did that work? By using these merge fields or custom values, you can pull information out of the database. So every contact that comes through here and gets this email is going to look for that person's name and then place it inside of the email for you, right here where it says contact first name. And you get that information by clicking this box. You'll hit contact, and then you can put first name, last name. You can put their company name in here, date of birth, or whatever. Or if you have custom fields, you can put that in there too.
Yep.
But more than likely, you're going to use the person's first name.
And the reason why you want to customize it to the audience or the avatar that we're talking about is you'll get better conversions and experience for that customer journey. I would feel like you're personally talking to me if I get a message from you saying, "Hey, Paulson, I'm gonna extend my offer for 2 more hours. Would you like to come in and we'll set up a time to talk at XYZ?" All that entire message could be customized based on the database information you have set up inside of the HighLevel CRM for that location.
Yeah. So spoiler alert, there isn't somebody typing every single email out to you. Personally, like that doesn't happen anymore. We use things like merge codes to put that information in. Now going through this email, like I said, it's the first email that goes out to them. You want to give them what they signed up for immediately. Okay. I don't know if you guys have been in this situation, and if you have, put it in chat. Like I've been in a situation where I've waited, maybe I bought a course or, I bought, I bought a laser, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for the thing that I paid for, right? And it's not the best feeling in the world, especially when something can be sent out as simple as an email or a text message saying, hey, here's the thing that you got, or hey, here's an update about what your thing is, right? Or the things you ordered. So we want to make sure they get exactly the thing that they asked for, or you promised them whenever they gave you their email. You're trying to build trust too. So if you're anything like me, from the moment you get that buy button online, you started staying in for a room. This is exactly what the copy is, kind of what I told you guys, right? Like you're waiting like a kid at the night before Christmas to open the packages. So I want to make sure that we get that information to them right away. Now, this has some of the way I write, how I talk most times, right? That's just what it is. Like my first sales letter, I'm surprised anybody purchased this. I literally was like, hey, I think this thing is great because of this. And, I use it. That was my first sales letter. I sold $10,000 worth of product. It was what hooked me into this thing anyway. But I talk like I write how I talk. So you might want to change some of the copy if it's more professional format for you guys, but I keep it the same 100 all the time. So today I've hooked you up with expedite delivery, your lead magnet. Anything in the red here, you guys, when you get this document, change this to match your thing, right? Put the name of your lead magnet here. Now, another cool way to automate this piece inside of your, let's say we want to duplicate this for something later. So this lead magnet, what you can do is create a custom value for lead magnet. So I'll go here. I'll click on custom values, contact, custom fields, and then I would create a custom value for the welcome / lead magnet. That way, when I put that custom value or the custom value in the field, it automatically put the name of that thing right in the field. So that's what you can do, or you can just type it in to every single email if you want to do that too.
Love that. So you pre-build all your emails in the email builder before you essentially in a template. Okay. And you go through it. So all 10 steps or the full sequence or whatever you're building, you pre-build it, design it, have all the templates ready. And now how does that help the automations, like the trees?
Perfect. So coming back into the automation piece, let's go to welcome. So we're here now, right? So now I have this lead magnet, or let me go ahead and throw another email here so you guys can see the process.
You don't mind zooming when you get a chance.
Oh, do that. Go. So I come here, I'm creating a new email. So instead of typing all the information here and creating the email in this little box and trying to make it happen there, I already have my beautifully designed email, which, by the way, just this little hint, email's getting stricter and stricter about the things that you can have inside of an email. So the more pictures and the more links and all of the pretty stuff that we like to put in emails, that's going to get you to the promotional folder, or even worse, the spam folder, because it looks like a spam message. If you can send plain text, do it. But if not, go ahead and try to minimize all the stuff inside the email. That way you make sure it gets delivered, right? So once you do that, you just come here and then you say, I want to look for number one. Number one lead magnet, and all the stuff is already here for me. So I don't have to put the subject line. I don't have to put the email. I don't have to put my name because I did that inside of the template and it's all done. So that just, expedites your process that much quicker, right? So you go down here, you'll put all those emails in. take uh, edit the copy, and then at the end of this thing, we want to say, hey, because I need to know, I want to categorize all the people who've been through this. I want to know who's been done already or who's finished this piece already. So I just go in and say, hey, this person, the welcome series or whatever the workflow is, it's complete, right? It's done. So now this person is segmented, right? Because I segment by tags. It's segmented, and I know how many people have finished, how many people have gone through the whole thing. If I click here to view the stats, I can see, all the stats here: delivered, open, click, replied, bounced, all that kind of stuff for the emails. And then that's it for the welcome. So the reason we do this campaign first or workflow first, still trying to get rid of that word, workflow first, is because again, we want to make sure people are welcome. And the reason it's so extensive, and we won't go into all the emails because you guys are going to get those. Maybe Paulson will give you guys those today. That way you can go and take the time and build this thing out for the rest of the time that we have. And go through the copy, make sure it fits for your company. But the reason we do this first is we want to make sure, or we want to make the person feel welcome coming into our home. We want them to be able to get to know us a little bit better. You just really want to do what other people are doing. A lot of people will just send the transactional email. Hey, thanks for the purchase. Here's where and how it gets delivered. And that's it, right? We're trying to build a bond with our new customer, like treat it like anybody you would, treat coming into your store or coming into your home. These people to me are valuable because one, there's a transaction of money exchange, but also they're going to help you get to where you need to be in the future. They're going to help you build your business. If they feel like they're part of something, it'll be easier to sell them more things, which we'll talk about later. But this is pretty much day one in building out this welcome series.
So let's do this. Let's go through maybe 15, 20 minutes of Q&A if you have time.
Oh, for sure.
So what I'm gonna do is, first things first, how many of you want the snapshot? Everything that we're just, well,
is this not something
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would love something like this because I do need to welcome people into my universe as a business instead of just giving them a receipt, right? And that's usually what happens in most businesses. And Damien, you built out the actual copy and emails where I can just literally swap out my custom values that make sense to my business essentially. And I'm similar. Like I write like I talk on copy emails, and I enjoy that it converts a whole lot better. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and share. For those of you that are watching, Damien, do you have the trial link? If you don't, what I can do, you know what? I'll pull it up. Let me go ahead and pull it up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here, y'all. Damien, if you don't mind, why don't you go ahead and go through some of the Q&As that you like to answer, and let's go through the Facebook page. So we'll go through the HighLevel external Facebook page comments as our source of questions, and I'll go ahead and pull up the snapshot links and some of the offers and things like that we had planned for the workshop.
Cool. So I'm in the Facebook on the actual live, looking at those comments. I'm looking down, guys, like, because the phone's here, and I'd have to put on my glasses. You see, I know you guys see the gray hair, so I had to put on my glasses. So forgive me for looking down at the questions. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the Facebook group chat. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, post them in chat.
All right. So I have this all pulled up. So if everybody goes to, oh, oops, I accidentally closed it out. 1 second. Let me just go ahead.
Let me change that. Let's see. Let's see. The first question: what made the biggest difference in your success journey using HighLevel? For me, Philip, 100%. It's not actually the software; it's the people and the community. Okay, that made the biggest difference. So, what I've learned over the course of my time in automation and using various platforms is that I don't like to replicate, or I don't like to build things from scratch, right? I don't want to build things from scratch. What I do when I go into a situation or a uh, uh, a community, I find the smartest people in the community and I ask them, "Hey, what are you doing?" Right? Or how did you do this thing? Right? Show me how to do that because I want to do that. I don't want to learn from the beginning, right? I want to go to the smartest people, kind of like you guys are doing here, right? Like you guys aren't going to have to build your welcome sequence. Like you have it done. It's in a snapshot. You just need to change the copy. So these are the things that you want to do to move ahead quickly in these spaces. Find people that are doing it, like doing the things that you want to learn, and then learn from them quicker. So the community has been the biggest difference in my success journey. I was wondering, Tara, I was wondering about the scheduling link for the calendar. Can it work for Airbnb? If people are scheduling like different units, it should be able to work. The scheduling time, you should be able to do that. It's just a calendar, right? So there's I don't know if Airbnb has like API and how you connect that to directly into HighLevel. But I'd be more happy to research that for you. Is there an easier recommendation to add multiple contacts to one customer? David, I think you're asking if like that customer is a company and they have multiple people with that company. Is that correct? Just let me know. That's right. How many messages do you send after the welcome series? I send an email every day, Victoria. Two, if I can get away with it. We provide the recording of the session. Yeah, it's being recorded. So once we have the snapshot uploaded into imported snapshots, what do we do with it? So Pauline, you'll go into, once it's imported, you'll have the workflows and you'll just go into, or I would go into marketing, go into emails and go into the templates and edit the templates. Let's see. Will you cover setting ads or lead magnet to capture the client to put them? I won't be covering ads in this George.
So Damien, I've got my links ready for those that want to take advantage of what we're doing. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And one of the things Damien is inviting all of you to do is to obviously jump into the HighLevel family to make that easier. What we did was create the option for you to jump into a 30-day trial, by the way. So if you go to gohighlevel.com/Damien workshop offer, it'll allow you to sign up for a trial and check out HighLevel. Or if you already have an existing plan and you want to upgrade, you could do that as well. And in addition to that, you can go to our customer facing Google Drive link. And that Google Drive, you'll get access to it, but for you to be able to download and transfer these snapshots into an account, you would have to obviously have a HighLevel account. So the collaterals are all going to be provided at gohighlevel.com/Damien Rufus resources. And our teams are going to post these links in the comments and in the chat so you can have it as well. And I'm going to go ahead and, Ethan, I'll go ahead and send this over to you, Ethan or Jordan. Let me go ahead and grab, I think you guys already have the links, so let me know if you need it. But either way, we want you to take advantage of, the trial. Now, what all is included in there? Because it's not just day one. And this is, by the way, this is what it looks like when you log in. Go ahead, Damon.
No, I was just laughing. Yeah, this is
Oh yeah.
it's not-
Well, let me just go ahead and so when you click on that Google Drive, here's where you will go. Let me share my screen. You'll go to this specific Google Drive. This is a public-facing Google Drive that our marketing team built for all of our customers. So you click on Damien Rufus's Google Doc, and you'll see there's an event offer. You click on that, you can go directly to that landing page that allows you. But most importantly, let me go ahead and make this bigger. Okay, cool. Most importantly, if you look at the collaterals for each day. So day one, look at it. You see there's a link there, and that's going to take you to the docs for today and the items for today. Okay. Damien, what are we going to cover tomorrow? So that way we can set the stage for tomorrow and we can finish up with additional Q&A.
Listen, so tomorrow we're going to build out something super cool. Um, Basically, we're going to talk about segmentation and the way that I segment people. The way you ask for more information for people is through, or the way you get more information from people by asking them, right? Like you gotta ask them the questions. And so, one way that people usually do it is by sending out surveys. Surveys are cool, but surveys sound like work. When you hear the word survey, you think you're going to go have to do a job or something. So we do it in a cool way. We call it quizzes. I'm going to introduce you guys. I wrote a cool AI script to do all the work for you. So I'm going to give you guys that. Essentially, we're going to create some quizzes in a cool way. We used to do it manually, and I'm going to show you how we did that. And I'm going to give you that asset for those of you who don't want to hop um, into ChatGPT and AI because there's still some folks out there that are like, no, wait. I'll show you how to do it manually. It's a lot of work. But I'll show you the automated way to do that too. So to create the whole quiz for you, so all you have to do is copy and paste, and yeah. So we've given you that, and so I used to be a sixth grade teacher, right? And in doing the Spark Accelerator, I learned that you guys are much like the sixth grade students that I had in the classroom. This is all new and it's all exciting to some people, and some of you, the perfectionists and the people who got the all A's. Those might have been Paulson. They get in the classroom. He wants to get his work done early. He wants to get up. Listen, stay with us. All right. There's some cool stuff in the snapshot. Just stay with us. So I can walk you guys through it. And then, money loves speed, but 3 days is a good enough time for you guys to get this stuff done. I want to make sure you guys understand it and how it all works.
Absolutely. So let's go through and rapid fire with Q&A. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. Let's see. I'm getting questions here. Let's see here. Yeah, perfect. These are the links right here, y'all. So I'll keep this on the screen as we go through Q&A. So yeah, those of you that don't have an account inside HighLevel, this is a pretty good offer, pretty good chance for you to do a 30-day trial with gohighlevel.com/Damian workshop offer. If you already have an existing account, I would say upgrade to the next plan so you can take advantage of advanced features. And if you sign up, you're going to get all the collaterals and all the snapshots and everything. And that's going to be housed at collaterals. Which is gohighlevel.com/Damien Rufus resources. We're going to be adding more things into it. So at least for today, you definitely want to download the customer avatar Google Doc sheet Damien went through and reviewed, and take your time. So today, Monday, I think your focus should be doing the homework and take some time, go through some of the details, And like Damien said, dig deep on some of those so you really have a good picture of where your business is going. So let's go through Q&A. Okay. How do we get
Yeah,
the
let me
snapshots?
let me
Yeah.
do this, Paulson, before that. So the people who actually complete the avatar worksheet, I'll have a bonus for you guys tomorrow.
Okay, okay.
I'll
All
have a
right.
bonus.
Now we're doing some marketing
All
skills.
right, now I'll have a bonus. All
I
right.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. So if you
Eh,
guys bring that tomorrow, we'll have a bonus.
Okay, cool. And the snapshot links are in there, right, Damien?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, cool. So, and if you already have high level, everything's free. Just jump in,
Yeah.
enjoy. Welcome to the family of High Level. We love to educate and provide as much as we can. If you are brand new to the world of High Level, in order for you to download a snapshot, you have to have an account. And to make that easy, jump into a 30-day trial. And these trial offer that I have for this workshop, it will expire as soon as I'm done with the workshop. So this is a short window of time where you can take advantage of this and get all of Damien Rufus's workshop, snapshots and collaterals that he's providing. Let's go through a couple of questions here. Damien, why don't we start with this? For those that are brand new in business, how should they approach the workshop? Is this, what are your thoughts? Would this apply to somebody that's brand new and they're starting out and don't have a product or anything yet?
Sure. Here's what I say. Like, it's easier to start here than to go back and try to implement it into your business, right? So if you have the shortcut up front, why not take that short? Why not implement it now? So even if you don't have a product yet, um, act as if is what I'll tell you, right? Because that's the quickest way to move forward. Like, listen, I want to put this product out, and this is what it would look like if I were to put it out tomorrow, right? I'm thinking about this idea. Let me put it into these emails and go through the process of editing this welcome series as if this product was real, right? One of my favorite dudes, Allen Iverson, would say, "Practice, we're talking about practice." Yes, we are talking about practice. Like, go through the process because, like I said earlier, money loves speed. So the quicker you can put out, these offers, you already have the welcome series, so you can put out 10 offers and already be done with the back end piece, right? You look like a superstar because you have all that stuff in place. And it's like, man, how'd you do all that? Well, I went to this event that HighLevel put on, and I got the free snapshots.
That's right. Somebody's asking, Damien, you had mentioned you do 80,000 or 80, how many emails? 80? What was that?
It's a little more than that, but yeah.
What are some things that you've learned from that when it comes to high volume emails with high level?
Have your own server for sure. Just send those emails on. Um, for sure, that's number one. You want to make sure. I get away with a lot more stuff with bigger lists than I do with a smaller list. So the people who have like lists of like 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 100 people, right? You get hit more than I get hit numbers wise, right? I have a bigger pool to play with. So when I was talking about getting hit, like if 10 people out of your 100-person list, if 10 people hit spam, that's 10%. Like, you're done, man. Like, on any platform, they'll suspend your account. So that's why it's really important to have things like this welcome series in place. So people know that, you're, or
The
they
legitimate relationship. Yeah.
yeah, legitimate relationship. So you got to have those things in place. Also, you got to mail often. Like, you cannot mail. Like, you can't wait to mail people like every 30 days. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you have to mail like every day, or you have to that you have to mail. I would hate to say like once a week, but even that is like, you're trying to stay top of mind. So automation helps you um, do this, right? To email and email often. Um, but there is a such thing as, email fatigue, right? So people maybe get tired. So you got to keep it fresh, right?
Yeah.
Um, but when they do get tired and they do say, "Hey, I don't want to hear this message," or maybe they were in they don't want to hear a specific launch, or they don't want to hear about a specific email series that you have. Putting your emails away for them to just opt out of that sequence, right? They don't
Yeah.
have to opt out of your list. Just opt out of that sequence. That way, you put them on pause or D&D, and then you bring them back like after that sequence is done. So mail often, um, stay top of mind, and with the new changes in ESPs, Google, Yahoo, MSN, and all that, like you have to clean your list. Like you have to stay your list hygiene has to be impeccable. Like you have to get the people off who don't want to hear from you. You have to get the people off who are not engaged. Like they cannot be on your list. You don't have to necessarily delete them out of the database, but you do have to, or because you can take those names and put them in like a
Segment them
corresponding.
out,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. You got to segment them out. So
Yeah.
those are the biggest. Those are the biggest things.
In addition to the welcome series, how do you onboard your clients? Do you have a snapshot for it? Do you have another series for onboarding? Or is,
So for HighLevel, we don't onboard our clients. We have a team that does it for us. We pay them a little bit of money. Once you get into the community, you know, people like services like Extendly, and so we use talk to Steve, tell him I said yeah. Um, there's some other people who also do onboarding. Like I told you guys earlier, you asked what was my the or how did I get to success in this community? Like I went to the people like, hey, I don't want to do onboarding. Is there somebody that does that well and can do it for me? Yes, perfect. So now this person and it's live. I'm like, these are live calls, right? We have people going to them now. So that's completely taken off, and people love the service. The people are great over there. So that's one thing we don't have to do.
yeah. And also, I think this person was asking also in the sense of automations. Do you have an automations around onboarding in addition to the welcome series?
We do. So when so our onboarding is tied to our Extendly account.
Gotcha. So it's a
So it goes through
makes
the
sense.
process. It's an onboarding snapshot, but everything in it goes to our team over at Extendly.
Got it. That makes sense. Let's
Mhm.
see. Are there automatic segments and workflows to manage list hygiene, or do we need to build that somehow externally?
So you can build it inside. There are things inside a HighLevel to help you build it. It's just a simple a workflow. So you would put people through. Um, you can build it inside a HighLevel, and you can do it outside high level.
Yeah. So let's rapid fire a little bit. How do you have them opt out of only one sequence?
So you'll put a link in the email, right? And then you'll tag that link, right, with opt out of the sequence. And then you'll have a workflow. So when some person gets tagged, right, with that tag, it'll remove them from the workflow.
Got it. So basically through segmentation of tagging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. I think this is an interesting one because I think this is a concern usually for new high levelers. Kevin's asking, where do we go for help slash support? Is it live when the inevitable technical problems arise for our customers? So that there's multiple ways to handle it, but what are your thoughts, Damien?
So, multiple ways, right? So we have a ticketing system. Like we have our own videos that walk people through every single step of HighLevel. Everything that you want to do, there's a video for it. You go through our support center and you can see those videos, right? There's also a ticketing system at the bottom, which sends us an email that we just forward to our customer service team. And then there's also another form that people have. We have 24/7 support, and we have, and that's through Zoom calls and a widget, website
Yeah.
widget. So we don't do that, or it's in house because they're white label. But we have 24/7 support for our people on HighLevel.
And by the way, if you are an agency or a marketer that, that is not using high level, we have a team of almost 900 people that will jump on a Zoom call with you 24/7 as well from high level. So for us to you as a marketer, you're going to get supported no matter what happens. You can jump on a Zoom and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And we typically are pretty friendly people here at the leadership and across the board where we will spend time with you building out your business in a sense with the relevancy to high level. Um, just as a side note, it's not just providers for the third party
Yeah.
side. It's internally as well, in case if that's not a avenue for you just yet. Um, are there fees outside of GHL like paying for email or SMS?
Yeah, there's a usage charge for the text messages, but it's cheaper than you would get anywhere else. It is to use if you use Lead Connect. You have Mailgun integrated, so all of the technical stuff that you would normally have to do, and the setup is handled. I would say about 80% is handled for you with going with Lead Connect. You can do your own thing inside of HighLevel too. So you can have your own Twilio account for your telephone, your SMS. You can have your own Mailgun account for your emailing. You can set it all up over there and integrate it in. But the quickest, fastest way is to just hop on a Lead Connect.
Got it. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, so I've got someone asking questions around the customer avatar homework.
Yep.
Um, is it really important how old they are or if they have kids? Because when you qualify a prospect and speak with them, you need a specific person as personal characteristics, not the demographic. Because there's no matter if the person fits my fake avatar, if he doesn't want to grow or give better services, what does that mean?
So I would say it does matter. You're going to talk differently to an 18-year-old than you are a 60-year-old. I can tell you that 100%. So, when you're the avatar that allows you to talk to the people where they're at and who they're at, right? So it's super important.
Got it. Okay. So after this call, we're gonna make sure I'll go through and make sure the exact snapshot links are in there, as well as the customer avatar worksheet. Damien, let's go ahead and wrap this up. What can we expect tomorrow for day two? You briefed over a couple of things. It's gonna be I've seen the content, so I know it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna
Yeah,
be heavy
super.
tomorrow.
Yeah, super heavy. Listen, when Paulson says, "Hey, we want you to hop into the software and like build the stuff out," and I'm like, okay. So you see how I'm a tech guy. So and this is like I get nerdy with this stuff, right? So as I can talk about this stuff for hours. Like and get like you see how excited I get when I'm talking about automation. So again, I want to slow that stuff down for you. Um, it's easy when you understand the logic around it, but it takes a little bit to get there. So we're gonna walk you through the logic behind segmentation and how we segment. And I'm telling you the back end piece. Once you guys see the numbers, and how I just come tomorrow, man. Just come tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
I love it. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. CST Central Time or 12 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time or New York time for those of you that are watching international. I know there's a huge crowd watching internationally. And in case if you were on sales calls or you're running around with your team or whatever and you missed some of the parts of it, we will have a replay in our YouTube channel pretty soon. Give us a few hours, few minutes actually, and we'll go ahead and make sure replays are getting posted right away, and you'll probably see some of that in your email as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Damien.
Thanks, appreciate it.